Now, I don't really expect this to be a controversial video, and many people have voiced their issues with Metal Gear Solid Delta. That being said, I feel like my issues are a little bit different from what I've heard online. I've heard the whole argument of, why does this need to be a remake? This is just a visual upgrade, it controls too much like Phantom Pain, it's lacking the Kojima charm, all that kind of stuff, which fair, especially on the whole idea of why does this have to be a remake. Y'all know my opinions with remakes. I much prefer an original game, and I feel like my opinions on Delta would be a lot better, even with its flaws, if this was an original Metal Gear game. But it's not. And because it's not, I compare it constantly to Snake Eater. And that being said, the version of Snake Eater I compare it to is Subsistence. Now, the reason I bring this up is because the Legacy mode has you playing the original cut of Snake Eater style. So basically you have that camera up above you, it's almost isometric, the camera angles are very controlled, and yes, this is how it originally came out, but everybody agrees that Subsistence is the best way to play Snake Eater, where the camera is still pulled out, but it's more of a third-person camera that basically set the standard moving forward for the entire series. And this brings me to my first issue with Metal Gear Delta, the camera. Now, I made videos before this game released talking about how Metal Gear's camera is one of the most important parts about it. It's a stealth game. You need to be able to soak up information at every point, whether you're fucking up, whether you're planning, whether you're escaping, or whether you're pulling off something perfectly. The camera needs to be positioned in a way that allows you to know exactly what's going on in the environment. What are the guards doing? What are the points of entries? Where can I make a quick escape? Even games that do first-person cameras like Dishonored have you positioned in higher points at the start and finishes, and sometimes even during the middle of levels, so you can scout out and collect information and make choices on that information. Your success depends on your ability to soak up that info. Basically, you're doing the video game equivalent of recon. So your ability to do that recon is whether or not you win or lose. However, in Delta, the camera gets pulled in way too much, and there have been many times in which I feel like I haven't been able to see things that end up getting me into trouble. This extends to whenever you get really injured, instead of getting that iconic Metal Gear beeping, you get just a red screen and all of a sudden you can't hear shit, making the game even harder. And then, the worst of it is that if you want to do CQC or hold someone up properly, you need to press the sneaking button. Now, originally Snake Eater would allow you to tiptoe or walk slower and quieter by pressing the D-pad instead of using the stick. Here, you have to hold LB, which brings back the age-old problem with Snake Eater's original controls, where having to be able to aim and shoot required you to hold down 5 different buttons at the same time. Here, shooting is a lot easier, but the act of just sneaking up on people is a lot harder in that same way. You're holding LB, then you need to hold the trigger, then you need to press either your CQC or move the right stick to properly, aim at them to hold them up. It's a mess. When you're in this sneaking mode, the screen gets this weird kind of vignette, and you can't hear things as good. So when you're actively trying to sneak, you cannot collect that information. And as we just talked about, that is a death sentence for a stealth game. Then there's a major issue with animation. There are a lot of times where I take a hit or get caught because Snake has to finish up this long-winded animation that looks great, but just takes too long and takes control out of my hands when I do it. I first noticed this when I was fighting the pain, and the act of getting up on these rocks or getting under to swim, something that is instantaneous in the original, takes way too long, and would result in me dying a lot. This also extends to CQC. I can no longer run up to a guard, hold circle and the left stick and throw them down. Instead, I need to go up to them, and it's only when I get the prompt to be able to press a button for CQC that I can grab them or do things with them. The issue is, sometimes the enemies notice you faster than this prompt shows up. leading to many frustrating scenarios. Then of course the bosses have these weird invincibility frames, so when I'm fighting the Fear, I can no longer rely on accurately tracking him down and just laser beaming him with thermal goggles and the AK. I have to like wait for him to be ready to fight again. And the issue is like these invincibility frames sometimes happen while the enemy is attacking you, and that is just, it's bullshit. Again, a lot of these things, even like the weird pachinko looking people that just, like Konami, you have stuff like the Fox engine, which specializes in faces, like what's going on here? It's just, if this was an original Metal Gear game, I would be a lot kinder. I would talk about how nice the shooting feels. I would talk about the amazing detail in the environments, but this isn't an original Metal Gear. It's a remake of Snake Eater, and it's inferior to the original. I actively have to force myself to play this just to experience more and more, and every time I do, I regret it. I have not played Phantom Pain as much and as frequently in like the past couple like years as I have after playing Delta, because I feel like I need to detox myself after playing Delta.
Do you ladies have Phantom Pain? What the heck? What the
Now who knows, maybe I'll beat the game and I'll start, you know, seeing the light and all that. Hopefully they release a patch that makes, you know, it a little less than almost 100 fucking gigabytes. To give you a perspective on this, the Dead Space remake, a remake of a PlayStation 3 game that looks fucking phenomenal with its detail and visual fidelity, is around 31 gigabytes, maybe closer to 35. Snake Eater remake, which is a remake of a PlayStation 2 game, is almost 100 fucking gigabytes. And don't start telling me, oh, it's because it's Unreal 5 and that's not easy to optimize. Unreal Engine 5 has actually had a lot of work put into it to be able to optimize your games, right? The developers have even put out messages getting angry at AAA studios saying, okay, we're getting a bad rep because you guys are being fucking lazy and not putting in the effort to optimize your games. But you know, when we're talking about optimizing games or, you know, wanting original games over remakes, there's a game that you should be playing. It's also on Unreal Engine 5, but I believe it's still under 30 gigabytes. It's called Clair, Obscur Expedition 33. My brother downloaded this off of Game Pass on a whim around the same time we started playing Delta, and very quickly we became hooked on this instead of the game we'd been looking forward to for a long time. Clair Expedition 33 is a masterpiece in almost every regard. Its gameplay takes a spin on the turn-based combat RPG formula by adding parries, counters, and dodges, so you're constantly involved in the gameplay even when the enemy is taking its turn to attack. The story is so fucking good, I refuse to spoil it. The environments are so artistically varied and unique, and I am kicking myself in the pants for not including this in my Surreal Games video. I literally made that video and then started playing Clair Obscur and was just like, wow, this would have been the main focus of that video. But what's even better than just this being a great game is the story surrounding the development of the game. You see, a bunch of ex-Ubisoft employees that got tired of Ubisoft left the company, made this game out of passion, optimized it in Unreal Engine 5, and released it with the data on the disc. You heard me. You can buy this game, pop it into your PS5, and all of the data you need to play can be accessed without an internet connection. This is everything I want out of a game. The only thing missing is split screen. And again, that story is just something else. I haven't been affected by a story in a video game like this since The Last of Us in 2013. So yeah, here we are, end of the video. don't play Delta, especially if you're new to Metal Gear. There's the Master Collection, the entire collection on PlayStation 3, the originals that you can get with retro gaming hardware. There's ROMs online. Like, if you do you don't even need to do the work, you can play the Metal Gear series. Please don't start with Delta. Save the space on your console. Instead, get Clair Obscur. I will talk about this game more in the future, but I want to let time pass for more people to experience this before I risk spoiling one of the greatest games I have ever played. That's all I have for you. This has been Pliskin, over and out.
This is Solid Snake. Hey, subscribe to Pliskin Boy. God damn it.
You heard him.